from Paulo Coelho. Now I'm start with this Laksmi Pamuntjak. I think it's Indian, not Indian from America. I mean Indian writer from India. So I already read few part here. Now I'm gonna continue and read a little. Is it stop? No, a little more. As the I get pain. I can't sitting easily. Anyway, I forgot when I finished that. I guess this one. I'm gonna read at least this chapter for you, okay? There are glimpses of something more suffused through the words in this collection. More than love, more than muse, more than a single discrete identity. The myth we learn and love function as far more than fairy tale, inhabiting all we do and all of our attempts to make sense of world we can only hazard. In any work of Laksmi's, there are archipel, tragic lovers Amba and Bhisma are never going to be far away, and it is no surprise to see them finding the passions in entries on love. Love like theirs seems always seen always through a lens of separation, and at last punctured by narrows is never going to be easy. Nevertheless, we must strive for it. The poet, the poet urged us. It is perhaps unsurprising that Amba should be such a potent figure for Laxmi, whose work sings most eloquently when writing of love and of motherhood. For Amba is not only a lover, a fierce warrior, but also a mother, or incarnated self of Sri Kandi. Oh, this is similar to Indonesian story then. We have Sri Kandi here, like a Sri Kandi temple, something like that, in the city where I live in Yogyakarta. Continue. And as Robert Coltman once wrote, Amba is one of the commonest words for mother in Sanskrit language. What is Sanskrit language? Okay. I know Sanskrit, but there is like two in it. Coltman, RP 1978, Fathers, Sons, and Gurus. Oedipal conflict in the Sanskrit epic Journal of Indian Philosophy, 6.4 p. page 3336. I'm gonna continue. And while Sri Kandi is still evolving, Lakshmi's reimagining of Amba's life and loves have been an inspiration for both her poetry and award-winning eponymous novel published in German as Alle Farben Rot and in the US as The Question of Red, Road, not Rot, Alle, Alle Farben, Alle Farben Rot. I think that's how you read it in German. While Bisma and Amba may be remembered as lovers, it is a redemption that is crucial here, and in death, the great warrior achieves what he never could in life: access to a golden city where all our debts will be paid. Which means there's an October or something. There's like quote October. I'm gonna continue a little more. This golden city crops up again, but this time it is not only achievable in death. The speaker ignites at Gustavo, teaser her love by talking of a golden place from which she has come. This is the I think this is the poem. It's the poem. I guess this small thing. This three. I don't know. We call it tiga bait, something like that. a land from which all impossible loves run. Yes, I hope that I can reach that land though. Impossible perhaps, but not inaccessible to all. For the poet's daughter glimpses of a golden city in silent prayer for my daughter on her ninth birthday. As with so as with so much of James' fiction, while the adults in this collection may be recriminate so gently for their limited vision, the child comes to know and to understand so much more. In Shanghai Rising, the daughter dreams of jade, gold, and ivory, and in For My Daughter once more. It is the mother who comes to understand the world through her daughter's clear gaze. This is the other two poem. I don't know, two line of poem. I guess I can read it. I have looked into your eyes through the fables of down, right? Down in the morning, down, right? The filial clear sightedness is explored at length in Laksmi's rural, utterly charming exploration of the mother-daughter relationship, soapy between the lines. Eloquent, artistic Sophie is both frustrated and fascinated by her mother, whose constant search for love, identity, and self-actualization conflicts with her role as a parent. I stick to my hand. Sophie is one of many women in the poetry and of this prose of this collection who demand to be seen, who have historically been neither seen nor heard. Conventionally, women have been too often figured as the muses of male artists who love and lose them. Art becomes the pursuit. What is this? Of a mystical other poet. Light matters. I think this is the title of the poet. Poignantly set out this missing, or perhaps more accurately, unseeing it, and it's described of a lover who strives so hard to perceive the light hallowing his love that he completely fails to see the actual woman right in front of him. This is the poetry. I think this is the poetry. I'm gonna read it again. I still can't help but wonder whenever he looked at me whether it was my light that he saw, or whether it was the light around me, the one that adamantly had nothing to do with me. Such misunderstandings, misreadings, characterize the loves in this collection. Certainly, they characterize as a constant debate in the world of art. What, after all, are we looking for, or are you looking at? Artists fascinated by their muses, who, for all their miraculously insights, miss the point. They instead give prize to the wrong god, a traveler's tale. I think that's the poetry or the prose. I don't know. The notion of woman as unvoiced object was deconstructed in the 2009 Anthology of International Women's Poetry, Not a Muse. This is the title, Not a Muse, in which earlier version of poem, A Traveler Tales. Okay. And Stepping Out of the Airport and Weeping appear, and for which, together with Canadian poet Kate Rogers, I acted as a co-editor, as Laksmi herself write in the foreword to this anthology. It seeks to subvert the entire foundation of the traditional male gaze. In this collection, Laksmi expertic prose holds a mirror to the male artists whose her work functioned as inspiration for her own music. The female author is given voice and she has a lot to say. The muses, the prostitutes, the businesswomen, and those who spend their days in the beauty salon, the daughters and the mothers all speak up in Lakshmi La's redolent prose. But it is muka burung. Muka burung itu Indonesian word. The Buru Island tribeswoman who has stood vigil over Bhisma's last day, who loved their warrior prefigured as a doctor, whose voice resonates most clearly as an anti-muse. Scared, sacred, Scarred. How to read it? Scared, scared. I don't know how to read it. Unsacred, leprous. I don't know. Muka burung cast Bhisma or Santanu as a Bhisma or someone like Bhisma appear in the poem in the role of the object of her desire and takes center stage at last, demanding to be heard. The final story, together with several of the poems in the earlier section of this collection. In this vibrant tapestry of experiences provides a particularly poignant insight into a still controversial subject. The events surrounding the in incarceration of communist sympathizer on the penal colony of Buru Island, the woman who speak up in the woman who come back from the dead, are all too aware of the importance of giving voice not only to themselves but to the nature itself, which desperately want to be to which desperately want to bear witness. Is the I think the pros, I guess. Lately we have seen the wind blowing hard along the river. It seems to want to say something. Through myth and history, art and music, the women in this collection all want to say something. They are eloquent, articulate, and very present. Present or present? Very present, like present is now, right? Yeah. Sophie Between the Lines, this is the title. In its final sentence, reminds us of the continuity of history, memory, and the destinies we shape ourselves. Like my mother and her mother before me, our eyes meet and part. And yet, what does it mean to see life through a woman's eyes? Lakshmi asks in her forward to not to muse. That there are tears and things in this collection response, and that we continue to live and love precisely because of this. This is the first chapter that I'm already finished. Yeah, this is the first chapter, and even though I really don't get it because I haven't read her previous book that contain poems and prose. I don't know, but some of it is like, I mean, I think this is gonna be like a. I think this is what I think. I think this is some kind of like a book that talk about women. I guess this book about women, about how women do in their life, in their world. I guess I hope it's like a feminism, something like that. I guess because in the first, at least this first chapter is more talk about women, how women, the way women are. I guess that's what I got, and I still have a lot, like I can say like 90% to finish, but so far I like it because I like poem, and yeah, I hope that I can learn something from here. It's barely 7 o'clock, and I'm already so sleepy. What is that? So yeah, Why it's really hot. I don't know why. I already took a bath, but it's still hot. So this is gonna be my. Oh, I think there's one more. This acknowledgement. I'm gonna finish it as well. Okay. And after that, this is, I think this is the first chapter that I need to read. This is the introduction. I thought this is the first chapter, so that is not. It's like the, I don't know how to call it. It's like the introduction, something like that. Okay, now I'm gonna read this acknowledgement. Okay, earlier version of some of the poems and prose pieces in this collection have been published in the following journals: Asim Asim Asymptote, I don't know because it's like not English, I guess. QLRS, Poetry International, Asia Literary Review, Soft Blow, Takahe, Hit Literary Journal, Biblu Review of Books, Mascara Literary Review, and Scholar Literary Review. So I think what's inside this book is already published before. That's why it's called like a collection, or like collected poems and prose from 2001 until 2016 and 16. Continue. Continue, baby. Okay. Acknowledgements are also due to the editors of the following anthologies. Anthologies, I guess, how to read it like. Not Muse, that's the title. World Poetry Anthology. And then The World Record and Rain of Poems. This very sweet name, right? Rain of Poems. I think I wish that I can have that. Those poems and prose pieces are as following: A Traveler Tale, quote unquote. Okay, this is all are quote unquote. October, Light Matters. Postscripts 1, Kate Croy in the Afterglow. Stepping out of the airport and weeping. 35, The Breakup. Bismarck's Final Day. The Final Hour. Two women sitting at a window table in a cafe. Ellipsis, Dolphin, Glass Conservatory, Silent Prayer for my daughter on her ninth birthday. For my daughter once more. To my parents who visited my college town 12 years after I graduated. The quote unquote is done. Now it's like, I don't know, call it in English though. Okay, I'm gonna continue then. The Love Motel, about the woman they say come back from the dead. The story of Muka Burung, the prostitute and the dwarfs, the diary of R.S., and prologue to Aruna and her plates. Palate, what is palate? Palates, is that how to read it? I would also like to thank the following organization for their support: the International Writing Program at the University of Iowa, and the Literaris is I don't know how to read German. Literarisches Colloquium Berlin. This collection is indebted to the cities and places that poet has loved and have loved the poet back. Berlin, London, Paris, Cambridge, Madrid, Sevilla, Frankfurt, Edinburgh, New Orleans, New York, Vermont, Istanbul, Beijing, Santorini, Trevi, Sploto, Siena, Palermo, Ambon City, ooh, that's my Indonesian city, and Buru Island, to the endless inspiration of the artists featured on these pages. Edward Munch, I guess, George Cruz, Ego Chile, Max Beckman, Max Beckman, Salvador Dali, Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, and the presiding spirit of Louis Bourgeois, Keith Kolwitz, and Umi Dahlan. Umi Dahlan is so Arabic name. I owe everything to the grace, brilliance, humility, and deep friendship of both editor and soul matter Victoria Redford, to the two great loves of my life and their whose fire, Algeria, and as ever and always, Nadia. So I think this is the introduction that I already read. I think I just like misread everything. So it was what I the first page, which was like the introduction, and what I just read is acknowledgements. And then this is how we get into the selected poem. Selection 1, From the Lights Around Me. So this, I think this chapter, I have to say that this is gonna be the book that was from 2000. This is the poem that what's his name, Laksmi Pamuntjak, how does that mentioned in this book from 2006 until 2000 at least 16. So it's like randomly something like that. Okay, the first chapter, section 1, gonna be named as From the Light Around Me. 2008, what do I mean, 2016, a traveler tale, this very long one, see, and it's continued. This is from 2008. You can see the date, the year. Should I read it? Should I read it? I'm gonna read it. Okay. Traveler tale. Perhaps every journey begins by going down the staircase or toiling through a passage in your granny's house where a door might lead into shadows and ink stains, a fireside of charred carbon, charred carbon. Folks often mistakes the soul for the spirit, and like the key that falls to the sand, this is the sand, we rise to the swarm, but forget the man. I don't know how to read poem actually, because this is so, I don't know. I'm not gonna read it anyway. Our songs stitched in the sky long before cities were erected and signposts stake. The wind may be unfaithful as light selects its aperture. We may give price to the wrong god and remember only what illuminates the field. The glutinous part of the map, we scan the spread of the chest of the earth as through the world were merely the consequence of some cosmic spillage. The mountains brillial before the sun, and the sea no more than water leaking. And the sea no more than water leaking into space. But lately there is no telling summer from silver, as islands sink and fish gaps in the black hole of unseasonal drought. What story we may find in our passage through imagining are buried in dead man's chest, are saved by the moon like the face of straight goddess. Such that it comes as a gentle surprise that the pages that leap from certain books hint of something closer to the skin, mother's fingerprints, of the bed of sweat that escapes a father's neck. Bit, what is bit? Of sweat that escapes a father's neck. Bent over the very smile lines, sending him places with wide-eyed wings. 2008. So it is all of the this. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna finish that one. Okay. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow I'm gonna read like this October and continue a little bit more. Hope there somebody come by. Okay, bye YouTube. Thanks for watching, beautiful people. Oh, I don't know. It's like okay.